The great amphitheater of Velther University thrummed with tension. Hundreds of alien students, shimmering in various colors and forms, shifted in their seats, antennas twitching, bioluminescent patches flickering nervously. At the center of the circular hall, Professor HFY Loth, a towering being of translucent flesh and rippling nerves, floated above the speaking platform. Behind him, an enormous hologram rotated slowly, a hulking, quadrupedal creature with blood-red eyes and rows of teeth sharpened like broken glass. The words at the bottom of the hologram pulsed in stark warning, "Beast class, unengageable." Professor HFY Loth's voice, cool and measured, filled the room. "It is a relic from a planet quarantined for 500 cycles. Brutal. Instinct-driven. Immune to telepathic suggestion and resistant to almost all known weaponry. Engage only if you seek death." The crowd murmured. Several tentacled beings withdrew into their shells in fear. Even the hardened combat graduates shifted uneasily. In the front row sat one anomaly, a human named Jacob Vance, leaned back in his seat, arms crossed, smirking slightly, as if the whole lecture was a joke at his expense. Professor HFY Loth's three glittering eyes focused on him. "Mr. Vance. Your species, though remarkable in certain aspects, is advised to exercise extreme caution. Especially you." Jacob gave a lazy salute, drawing a few scattered chuckles. The professor's voice darkened. "Should you attempt engagement, you will not only endanger yourself but the entirety of the university compound." After the lecture, as the students filed out, Professor HFY Loth intercepted Jacob with a flick of a tendril. "Do not let human arrogance blind you. Some things cannot be bested." Jacob only shrugged. "Professor, with all due respect, where I'm from, we don't scare easy. Sometimes you gotta wrestle the storm to find its eye." That night, under the light of 2 pale moons, the beast was transferred from its secure cryocell into the fortified research arena for observation. Layers of energy shields and reinforced walls contained it, while scientists took endless readings from the safety of hidden bunkers. The creature, called the Vorvex, paced and snarled, its muscles coiling under taut black skin. Its rage seemed to hum through the ground itself. Jacob watched from the observation deck, the barrier of transparent alloy humming faintly. He should have left it there. But something gnawed at him. A memory of Earth, of facing down nightmares because backing away wasn't in the blood. When no one was looking, Jacob overrode the lock using a trick he'd learned hacking university systems. One soft hiss, and the heavy door unsealed. He stepped inside the arena. The cold hit him first, breath steaming before his face. Then the stench, metallic and wild, like rain on rusted iron. The Vorvex turned, its 6 blood-red eyes locking onto him. Alarms blared instantly. Sirens wailed. Professor HFY Loth's voice echoed from speakers, frantic. "Cease. Retreat immediately. Security en route." Jacob stood his ground. He knew running would trigger a predatory response. Instead, he dropped low, arms out, palms open, the way he would approach a feral dog back on Earth. The Vorvex prowled closer, lipless mouth peeling back in a gruesome imitation of a grin. Each step made the ground tremble. The scientists screamed for force fields, tranquilizers, even lethal measures, but Jacob shouted over the comms, "Hold fire. Trust me." It lunged. Jacob dove, rolled, and came up in a crouch. His hands brushed the ground, steadying himself. As the creature whirled to strike again, Jacob threw a small object from his belt, a sphere of compressed sound, rigged for maximum disorientation. It exploded with a crack of thunder. The Vorvex staggered, shaking its massive head. But it wasn't enough. The creature pounced again, and this time Jacob didn't move. He stood tall, heart hammering, and stared straight into the beast's eyes. Unflinching. For one long, agonizing moment, the world held its breath. Then, impossibly, the Vorvex halted inches from him. Its nostrils flared. Its breath washed over him, hot and rancid. The Vorvex's muscles twitched, poised to rip him apart. Jacob didn't blink. Slowly, with an almost human grunt, the creature lowered its head. The entire amphitheater of scientists and students watched in stunned silence as the human pressed a hand against the creature's massive forehead. The Vorvex shuddered once, and then settled. Professor HFY Loth, witnessing the scene from the observation tower, sagged in disbelief. His neural processors ran hundreds of simulations and found no explanation. Later, after Jacob had walked the Vorvex calmly back into its containment, after the alarms had died down and the emergency lights had dimmed, Professor HFY Loth confronted him. "How?" the alien demanded, voice quivering with a mixture of anger and awe. "How did you?" Jacob smiled grimly. "You called it a beast. But it's more than that. You treated it like a mindless monster. I treated it like something, broken. Scared. On Earth, we've lived next to creatures like this for millennia. We learned one thing: sometimes the only way to survive the monster is to make it remember it's not alone." Professor HFY Loth could only stare, his long limbs slack. Word of what Jacob had done spread across Velther University like wildfire. Across the neighboring planets, then across entire systems. Whispers of the human who calmed the unengageable beast. Some hailed it as a miracle. Others, as madness barely a breath away from catastrophe. But in the weeks that followed, something even stranger happened. The Vorvex, now dubbed Sorrow by Jacob, refused to be separated from him. It sat patiently outside lecture halls during classes. It paced protectively outside his dormitory. And when a rival university attempted a sabotage attack, it was Sorrow who tore through their machines with terrifying efficiency, saving hundreds of lives. For the first time in recorded galactic history, a human and a Vorvex bonded. And the galaxy realized that maybe, just maybe, there were forces even greater than fear, stronger than raw power. Trust. Jacob often joked about it after, laughing over drinks with the other students. Guess they should have listened when Earth told them, our monsters, their family. But deep down, he knew the truth. The real beasts were never the ones with teeth and claws. They were the ones who forgot how to look a nightmare in the eye, and find a soul staring back.